Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here, and welcome back to another crypto video. If you like digital assets, make sure you press the like button on this video and subscribe. And also comment down below what your favorite coin is. Is it XRP? Is it VeChain? Is it Chainlink? Put it in the comment section and let's connect with each other. The first article of this video is XRP price and volume linked to Twitter activity. New data reveals. So this is a subject which I find ridiculously interesting. The connection between Twitter and the price, and really if the amount of mentions, the amount of attention and whatever really have anything to do with the XRP price / volume. Not specifically for XRP, but for all currencies. I really like to talk about that. Now, it's a 6 supposed minute article, but I think we can get through it a little bit quicker. XRP gains from the month of February were erased over the past 2 weeks. It definitely did not do too good. Now, XRP is one of the most frequently mentioned cryptos on Twitter. As discussed in the previous analysis, there is a relationship between the number of daily tweets mentioning Bitcoin and its trading volume. This leaves the door open to discuss if the high number of XRP mentions on social media also influenced its volume or returns. Now again, this is stuff that's really quite interesting to me. So, relationship between tweets and XRP price since 2018? The number of tweets mentioning XRP has been relatively consistent over time, with its yearly averages since 2018 is similar. In 2018, the average number of daily tweets mentioning XRP was about 6,000 daily average tweets, while in 2019, the average daily number of tweets reduced slightly to about 5,300. However, January this year had a smaller average number of tweets, about 5,000, with a spike of 7,000 on January 6th, the day the XRP price gained more than 12%. Recently, the average number of tweets observed during February has increased to about 6,400, a much higher average than seen in earlier periods. So supposedly here you can see the number of daily tweets any day. Following the trend of having a higher average in February, the correlation between the number of daily tweets and XP prices in 2020 has been the highest since 2018 at 62%. Moreover, the correlation between these two variables this month has similar values at 60%, much higher than in January, which was 12%. However, this relationship has been much lower in previous years because in 2018, the correlation between the number of tweets and the XP price was set at 35%, while in 2019, it shows almost no correlation at 7%. So, of course, this 7%, we all kind of ignore that. Whenever it's 7%, there's not really a correlation going on right there. I mean, 7% could really be a coincidence. And yeah, I guess this year right now, or the newest values at 60% is ridiculously crazy. It's really high, or even 62%. A correlation of 0% means that XP returns and the number of tweets is not related in any way. A correlation of 100% means that XP and the number of tweets move completely in the same direction. Or you could just plot them right now for yourself. For example, here the daily price, or the price of that. Yeah, the daily price, I guess, and on the bottom you could put the amount of tweets, for example, or you could put the amount of tweets right here, and you could, I guess you would have to just think of a nice way to do it, just to correlate these two things with each other. You can just make them in a nice little graph and just see exactly what the correlation is. In this case, 7% in 2019 is almost nothing. It's just really good right now, period. Let's just say that. A small positive influence on returns. The inclusive trend seen in the correlations leads us to employ other analysis where we find a smaller significant relationship between the daily number of tweets and XP returns. In 2019, when the number of daily tweets increased by 1%, the XP return on the same day increased by 0.03. However, in 2018, no significant relationship, and a slightly higher influence is observed in the first month and a half of 2020, when the daily number of tweets would increase by 1%, XP returns would go up by 0.06. That's it. That's what we need to know for this article. That's the most important part out of it all. And there's a little question about versus BTC and whatever, but this is the most interesting part. Mike Novogratz explained why Bitcoin is failing as a safe haven. We've talked about this many times before. Crypto boss Mike Novogratz explains that Bitcoin failed to act as a safe haven asset because of mass liquidations of both risk on and risk off assets. Now, not a hedge asset. I think I actually have another article talking about exactly that situation. All right, we're going to see that in a second. Galaxy Digital CEO Mike Novogratz has attempted to explain what exactly happened to Bitcoin's safe haven status. In his new tweet, he writes that investors tend to take leverage down and book profits during such black swan events. How did BTC go from being a hedge against bad stuff to getting washed out and trading like a risk asset? When things go from bad to very, very bad like they did last week, investors take leverage down as fast as they can. They book profits to make up for other losses. Ouch. And that, again, is really, I think, his main reason for saying it's not that good of a hedge asset. But oil, gold, silver, anything has been doing kind of crazy right now, really. If we move over, though, I have another article talking about a little bit of that. Crypto is the best hedge, says Cardano co-founder, as Fed chairman attempts to restore calm. So that's actually pretty funny to see. Dear markets, just an FYI, crypto is the best hedge in the world against a global pandemic. And in this case, we're talking about most likely COVID and the general economic crisis that some people say is lurking. Should SARS-CoV-2, so the coronavirus, I shouldn't say it, but whatever, I think some say a mutated SARS or whatever, get big, the stock market is done and governments will collapse. Things that live in the digital world are resistant to this and will benefit from the social change. So there's one, I think, exception, and that is that, internet could at one point take a hike or whatever if no employees would ever show up or things like that, and maybe some servers would get, left behind a little bit and something in that regard. But I think that's like last resort. That is if we go into a real freaking pandemic and everything hits the fan. But I think in this day and age, they won't allow you to not have internet anymore because they can't, I guess, they can't indoctrinate you anymore or really influence you anymore if you don't have the internet. Right now, they have so many advertisements if they want to. They have so many spaces to just fill your mind, which they normally, I think, would do on television, right? A lot of people might not even have a TV connected to the satellite or whatever. I don't even know how exactly some people do that because I know a lot of people just watch Netflix all the time. They don't give a shizzle about normal TV. I think if they cut out the internet, a lot of people are not going to be informed with anything anymore at all. So it might hurt, but on the contrary, you might be doing a Fahrenheit 451 action right there of deleting the history, because people still have books, but internet is where most things are logged, sort of. And if you take away that, people, all they're going to be having left is their notebooks and whatever. They won't be able to notice exactly what happened a couple weeks ago because nobody will know, right? And maybe they can record it, I guess. But if it's only on TV, or even if TV gets done and it's only radio, yeah, it's going to be difficult, guys. It's going to be really strange to see. But again, he does have a point. I think crypto is a very good hedge because it has no direct correlation with any of that, right? It doesn't really necessarily needs to go good or bad. Yeah, with all this stuff. Bruce Fenton says, our forecast, we will see over $1 trillion in total spending, total increases, printing new money and stimulus from COVID-19. Short-term outlook for stocks and bonds is bad. Once the crisis is over, which could be in a long, painful time, maybe a strong rebound for years. And Mr. Holt said, buy Bitcoin. Yep, I get that. Why XRP is the investing opportunity of the decade. I just told you guys about that in my previous video. Most likely, this is going to be a once-in-a-lifetime deal. Most likely, we're right now investing into the future, and as I explained previously, most likely how I see it is that this small little 25-year period is just the earliest of the earliest, comparable to the first couple of years of Amazon, comparable to the first couple of years of Facebook, or in that case, the Facebook, Google, and any of those huge tech companies. It's just the start, and getting into this might not even be the investing opportunity of the decade, but maybe of the whole century, or maybe of the whole, I guess 3 centuries, whatever, think about it, because it could become the new standard after the next couple of years, and we're still so ridiculously early. It's a very, very good buying opportunity, I would say. It's most likely the best shot we got at making it big with nothing. Just thinking about it. Last week we wrote XRP that, or what is this mysterious chart forecasting? We explained why Saturday, February 29th is a hugely important point in time. Well, I guess apparently it was not even that important. Today we follow up on this, as said this week is important, and the jury is still out. If the ongoing test is successful, it will confirm our long-standing XRP price forecast. Anyone who has advanced chart reading skills gets very excited about this chart. It tells us a few things. A secular bull market test is going on. A successful test will be hugely bullish long term. Many investors will feel discouraged by the recent decline from 34 to 23 cents, and many will give up, which is definitely quite true. A secular reversal pattern is complete early April 2020. This is a big thing, a very big thing, especially if XRP succeeds. And then, last but not least, we see a potential new rising channel on with this week's decline. Every problem has an opportunity. It is a matter of understanding which opportunity exactly. Again, it's kind of the same situation all talked over again and again and again. But I'm liking it, guys. I'm liking it all. I don't even care too much about the charts, as you guys know, but still I like to read about it. The infamous golden cross, right? We talked about it a week ago or so. Some were getting really excited for the new golden cross to occur, and so a lot of speculations about what was going to happen and what was going to go on. Well, golden cross for XRP to be undone by 5% to 10% drop. Well, I don't actually know exactly where the golden cross is at right now, but I think it's going to cancel out relatively soon here again. A reverse, I guess, or I don't really know, whatever you want to call it, golden cross might be occurring soon. And really, this golden cross can still pay off its dues. But I see the chance of not being that. I see the chance of not being that high, of the golden cross really following up and getting us to huge prices. Just because we've been going downhill for quite a little bit right now. I don't really see it happening exactly right now, but we might. Nobody knows. We might see something really crazy happening relatively soon here. By the way, if you're enjoying the crypto news, make sure you press the like button and subscribe. And also comment down below what you'd like to see next. Stupidest ways people have lost their Bitcoins. Well, I could think of a really couple of stupid ways, but one thing I should tell everybody is that you should not lose your money due to an exchange shutting down, or I guess you breaking your computer, right? This is talking about web wallets, which is just really, really a hot one, or a soft wallet. I would always recommend to go for a hardware wallet. A link is in the description below. Make sure you pick up a Ledger hardware wallet. Just keep your coins safe if you can, right? Why would you risk it all? A link is always there. Just pick yourself one up, or pick yourself up one. I don't know how to say that. Grab one. It's not expensive. It is worth it, guys. I've been using it for the years, ever since I started really, really getting, I guess, my head around the crypto game. Picked myself up to exactly the first day. I think like a couple weeks later, picked up another couple, just because I like to spread my money around in different places for if things hit the fan, or something happens to your house. You have a couple of cards which you write your codes on, but still, I like to diversify. I like to keep money in different places just to be sure for if something happens. But I recommend you guys to do that as well. Just pick yourself one of those things up. It's worth it. The only thing people hate more than losing money is the person who lost it for them, right? Now, a couple of dumb ways are most likely to, let's see here, the out with the old, in with the new. I guess just throwing away your computer or things like that, all right? Sil Turner mined 2 Bitcoins when it was pretty much worthless, so much that he dumped his old computer in the attic. 7 years later, when Satoshi's creation reached new highs, only then did Atlanta-based software developer remember mining the coins, but it was too late. The pretty much non-functional computer and all the data was gone with the wind, and this treasure hunt ended on a sore note. Talk about a landfill site tragedy. While we talk about the less glamorous group of Bitcoiners, how can you forget James Howells is an IT worker from Newport. This was the time when Bitcoin was around $130 when Howells claimed to have thrown the hard drive away. You might ask where? Well, a landfill site. While he sold his system on eBay, he did keep the hard drive that had all his Bitcoin private keys in a drawer at home. This hard drive somehow made its way onto the general waste bin at his local landfill Phil's site, soon after which it was buried on site, he claimed, so that would never get back. Crashed computer, 25 bitcoins. He came, he purchased, he forgot. Yeah, I guess if you kept your money somewhere and you don't exactly remember where, or like, for example, what happens, by the way, if your USB breaks? Are the people who can make USB cables again? Is the data still stuck on there then, or how does that work? I have no idea how the inner workings of a USB stick work. I'm really kind of interested in that as well, right? Because what if I have a USB? I have one USB, for example, laying around right now, which does not have any important info on there, but doesn't work, right? And there is like maybe like 1 or 2 files on there, but how would you get it to work again? You know, because I've tried everything. I've tried to check it out, but I don't know how to fix it. Is there people who do that for a living? I'm just interested in that. What's the yoke here? The Irish person Clifton Collins distributed the 6,000 BTC across the 12 newly created accounts, splitting 500 BTC among each one of them. He then printed out the keys for all of his 12 accounts on a piece of paper, which he claims to have stored in an aluminium cap of his fishing rod case. Cutting to the chase, the guy was arrested for cannabis trafficking. On top of it, his landowner threw away many of Collins' non-dopey stuff, which included, guess what, his fishing rod. So, by the way, I gotta go right now. I gotta pick up one fishing rod I just ordered. No, just kidding. But yeah, that's just really heavy. This is the sad tale of the Irishman who lost his bitcoins, because 6,000 bitcoins is it's a little more than I have. A little more than I have, definitely. On the bright side, he came to terms with his loss and said that it was a punishment for his own stupidity. Yeah, I guess that's true, right? Maybe you should just tattoo them on your like your balls or something like that, or maybe somewhere that not too many people see them, but you still will always be able to get it, or maybe insert it into your skin or something like that, or like, I don't know, because it's really difficult to have it with you at all times where other people won't be able to see it, but where you also won't lose it. You know, maybe like tattoo it in your inner thigh because you're still able to see it. But then on the contrary, you know, the tattoo artist needs to be you, but otherwise somebody else will see it, right? And it's difficult. Because what if you're asleep and somebody knows and he wants to steal your money? Really kind of interesting. I'm thinking now about what the best way to store it is if you don't want to involve anybody else or any other company right there. I think it would be the best thing to just, you know, do paper wallets, but then tattoo it somewhere, I would say. And again, I'm not that much a fan of tattooing in that sense, but I think it will be the most efficient way. Let's not forget Wired. I don't know about this. We were stupid, but not alone, from Wired. Staffers at the SF office of Wired amassed 13 bitcoins, which were mined using a mining device by the now defunct Butterfly Labs 2013, but today there is none. They forgot their private key, and now no one remembers the 64-digit string of random numbers. The Bitcoin hater who did not lose BTCs, Peter Schiff, gets an honorary mention on the list. The Gold Bug forgot his password and blamed Bitcoin for it. A devout hater of cryptocurrency, Schiff mistook his PIN for his wallet password and took to social media on a peaceful Sunday morning to lament that his wallet was corrupted. He later on tweeted that his Bitcoin mystery was solved and that he got logged out after his app was updated. And guess what? The Gold Bug has never known or used a password or never had a copy of his seed phrase. He said on Twitter, "I just lost all the Bitcoin I have ever owned. My wallet got corrupted somehow and my password is no longer valid. So now not only is my Bitcoin intrinsically worthless, it has no market value either. I knew owning Bitcoin was a bad idea. I just never realized it was this bad." It's actually just a month ago he got an error decrypting the wallet. That's really funny. That's ridiculously funny, guys. I really like that. I really like that. I really enjoy. That's the stupidest thing. This is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. This is, wow. He forgot his password. He's like, "Oh, you stupid Bitcoin holders." And then world famous company uses VeChain for product tracking. VeChain is getting themselves such headway in the world, I guess. Everywhere they're just making more and more progress as we speak. There's no stopping VeChain. Period. Point blank. How are you going to stop them? I don't even know. But they're making some real headway in just getting themselves everywhere around the freaking world. The world-famous fashion brand Sarah Regensburger has announced on Twitter that it will verify the authenticity of its products using VeChain Tor blockchain. As a result, it will be possible to trace all products along the value-added chain and to trace back exactly whether the respective product was originally manufactured. And that's really quite amazing. Really good. Counterfeit is worth like $300 billion according to Statista, and they're just getting piece by piece together to get rid of this counterfeiting market and authenticating everything. Really amazing. VeChain putting in the work. VeChain getting themselves adopted more and more places. I think they're really up to something. Really up to something quite good. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you press the like button. Also, don't forget to comment down below what coins you'd like to see next, and subscribe if you're into digital assets. I also want to kind of invite you to share this video with some people over on Twitter. I really would appreciate that. And I guess I'll see you guys again in another crypto video. Take care, everybody, and have a very, very nice day.